Hello, I'm Valerie McLennan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. I hope you're well. This is my spiritual channel, even Valerie Mac, Scottish, spiritual, and very funny, allegedly. If you've been following me a while, thank you very much, and I hope you continue to listen, take part, if you don't mind, like, subscribe, do whatever. I know, if you don't want to, don't do it. And if you're a new listener, thank you very much, and I hope you continue to listen, revert back to listening to my previous podcasts, etc., etc. Now, as I explained a couple of years ago when I started the channel, my intention is to discuss spirituality in my belief, my understanding, and to deliver it in a very natural style. I even incorporate humour. I sometimes burst into song. The thread through it all is wisdom. Now, as I said many, many times, if I didn't actually use the tools that I'm discussing on here, I have no idea how I would have managed to face and come out the other side of all of the challenges I have faced in my own life. Now, this is all I do. I know everything that I'm telling you, and I use everything I'm telling you. I have nothing to gain. I'm giving it to you. You have two choices, as we all do in life. Listen and do nothing about it, or listen and use it. This is all I can do. I can only give you the information, and then, like everything I'll be discussing shortly on this podcast, we have freedom of choice in life. So you can choose to listen and maybe laugh, but not do anything about it in your own life, or you can choose to listen and actually incorporate it into your own life. This, again, is where your choice lies. You can't blame me. You can't blame anyone else. You have the final decision what you're doing with your life. Now, I'll get back there in a moment. I'm going to share a little funny thing I heard. I thought it was funny. So I'm going to get you into a false sense of security. I'm going to tell you this little funny story, and then I'm going to revert straight back into my spirituality. Thank you. No surprises on here. I'm telling you what is happening. Now, there's a couple, and they have two little boys. One is 7 and one is 10. And every time there's any trouble in their town, they always know. The parents always say, oh no, because they know their 7-year-old and their 10-year-old is in the thick of it. Every time there's mischief, they're in the thick of it. And it's been going on. They've tried everything. No, there's just nothing happened. The two boys are still in it. Then they hear there's a minister coming to town, and someone whispers in their ear. He's very, very good at disciplining children. So they said, well, here, what have we got to lose? Nothing. So they have a word with the minister, and they say, is one 7 and one is 10, and they're up to every type of mischief. They won't listen. Could you have a word? And the minister says, of course I will. So he says, I'll come to your house, and what I'll do is I'll speak to the 7-year-old first, and then I'll call down the 10-year-old. I don't want them both there at the same time. Fine. So the minister arrives at the house, and they call in the little 7-year-old, and he's sitting opposite the minister. And the minister says in a quiet voice initially, where is God? And the little boy just kind of looks back at him, stares at him and says nothing. So the minister thinks, right, and he gets a bit more stern. Where is God? This time the little boy's eyes kind of widen, and he's staring at the minister but still not speaking. And then the third time the minister says, where is God? And the little boy jumped off the chair, ran up the stair into his bedroom and slammed the door shut. And the 10-year-old knew he was next, so he crept into his room and he says, what is it? What is it? What happened? And the 7-year-old says to the 10-year-old, God is missing. And they think, we did it. We're in big trouble this time. I thought that was quite fun. Did you laugh? Did you? I thought it was quite amusing. Now, I'm going to move on from there just now that I've got you laughing. I'm not laughing. Well, there's always one. Anyway, spirituality. Now, do you realise? I'm going to keep it very, very basic, because sometimes people look for the most complicated aspects of their life and they overlook the blatantly obvious answers. So this may sound basic. It is basic. If you don't, you may be overcomplicating it for yourself. Why do you think on Earth, on planet Earth, why do you think you have the capability of thinking in your own mind, a thought, of speaking the word or taking an action. Nobody on earth can force you to think in your mind. No one can force you to speak out your mouth, and no one can force you to take an action. People can encourage you. People can try and cajole you. People can try and do that. You have the final yes or no. This is where personal responsibility comes into life. People can go, it's you, it's me, it's him, it's not. The very basic spiritual law on life is personal responsibility and freedom of choice. Whatever you're thinking in your mind, I couldn't stop if I tried. I can't stop you from thinking whatever thoughts you're thinking, and vice versa. You're not able to stop me or the thoughts I'm thinking in my mind. I'm not able to stop you going from your thought and deciding to speak the word out. Neither. You can do that for me. And I can't stop you from taking an action. So if you're sitting, look at the steps that you have to take before you actually take an action. Now, in my belief, the reason for that is because we're in an energy field, and it is crucial because you are creating an experience for your life. You've been given 3 chances there. If you don't want to experience what it is that you're going to put out in the world, you can think something and decide not to speak it out. So it doesn't go anywhere. It just remains a thought in your mind. If you think the thought and then you speak it out, you've moved on to level 2. So you've been getting 3 chances here. So you've thought it, and now you've decided. Nobody can make you. You've decided, I'm going to speak that out. So you've spoken it out, and then you've got a 3rd choice. Are you going to take the action to make whatever that was happen? And if you take the action, it's an experience in the world. The energy's going into the world. So you've had 3 chances. How many do you want? You can decide to stop it at the thought. You can think something and think, no, I'm not going to let that register. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. You can you can override that thought in your mind, and decide not to speak it out. But as I said, if you decide to think a thought and speak it out, and, it doesn't have to be anything serious. It could be any part of your life. If you think it, then you speak it out and you take the action. You've had 3 chances here to stop before you've taken the action. It's energy and it's in the world. Now, the other part of it is, as I've said on a previous podcast, if you imagine yourself sitting in a car and you're in the driving seat and you're driving forward and you're looking out the mirror, not the mirror, you're looking out the window in the car, you're driving yourself forward in your car, looking out the window. If you keep staring, if you keep looking out the side window or along there, you're going to crash. If you keep looking sideways thinking, who's that in that car? What are they doing? What are you doing? You're going to crash. And it's the same in life. If you don't keep your eyes fixed firmly on the road, on your own emotional road ahead, you're going to go all over the place. If you imagine yourself like a little dinghy or on a little boat, and you're on the seabed or on the river, wherever you are, this little dinghy thing, if you don't actually direct that, and you just sit to let this little dinghy, this little boat take you on the ripples wherever it wants to take you. That's the same as in life, as a metaphor for life. If you are sitting and you're just like in default, you're not consciously directing your life with your mind, your thoughts and your words. It means that your life is just like that little dinghy on the river. It's just going to float about like in default. It'll take you in your life where it's wanting to take you. You're not actually guiding it. You're going, que sera, zera, whatever will be. Do you know that kind of thing? If you want to reach the other end of life on the way out and then look back and think, look how many opportunities I missed in my own life. Can you imagine how angry you're going to be with yourself? I'm generalising. When you reach the other end of life and you're thinking, I would have liked to do this, and then you look back and you think, well, I didn't take any blooming action to do any of the above. Why am I moaning? Why am I complaining? When you get to the other side of life, do you not want to think, just on our last gasp, do you not want to think, I consciously with my thoughts, my words, my actions, and using the spiritual laws in life, directed my emotional life where I was wanting it to go. I wasn't just like a rudderless ship dinghy thing on the water, and life was just taking me where it wanted to go, because you're just sitting back, you're not consciously directing your life where you want it to go. Now, we're all here in life. Look at why would a creator or the universe, whatever label you want to give it, why would a creator give you the option to be able to think your own thoughts? Why? And why would a creator give you the option to speak? Why would a creator give you the option to take whatever action you want in your life? There is nobody forcing you on earth. Wherever you are today, whatever you're doing, you have created with your thoughts, your actions. If you're in a job you hate, whose fault? You applied for the job, you went for the job. If you're in a relationship that you're not happy with, you chose. You can't keep blaming other people. If you're wherever and you're not happy with it, somewhere along your life plan, you have made choices. So you can't make choices, whether consciously or unconsciously, and then think it's everyone else's fault. Along the line, you've made a choice. Now, there's not a creator or the universe. We've all got freedom to choose with our thoughts, our words and our actions what we want to do. You've got a clean sheet of paper. Your thoughts, I can't think in your mind. I wish you would get this on board. So you've got to think in your own mind, speak with your own mouth, words, and create. You've been given that opportunity. Now think how vast that opportunity is. If you're just wasting it and stressed and allowing life to carry you where it wants to go, you can't blame anyone else. Now, this is why I decided to start this a couple of years ago, the spiritual laws and the spiritual aspects, because there's many, many people I've spoken to over the years who are totally, and have said to me, they were completely oblivious to the power that they had within themselves. They imagined they were just being carried. Well, they were, because they weren't doing anything with it. They weren't aware of the kind of topics that I cover on the spiritual, realm. Now, if you're aware of it and you make a choice not to use it, that's a different thing. I want to reach the people who are not even aware of the options that they have. There's nothing more frustrating to get to the other end. I think, well, I didn't even realise, I didn't even understand how basic that was in my mind, my body and my spirit and my health. You might not think that's important. Well, I do. My mind, body, spirit and my health are top of my tree and top of my priorities. And if I would suggest that you can focus on those areas as well. Whatever title you want to give it, my talks cover the basic aspects that make you, if it's the first time you've heard it, that's even better, because then you can make it, this is an important bit, once you listen and I give the tools, you again, at this point, make a conscious choice. Will I now direct my life, or will I just take the entertainment factor and let life carry me wherever it wants to go? This is all I can do. I can just try and make you see it from my understanding. Listen, I'm not alone on this earth. There are people in very, very high-powered positions in the world who use this very, very consciously. They are very conscious of their words, their spoken word, and their action. And I'm talking about people who are in very, very high positions in life, who know this, understand this, and use it every day of their life, every second of their life. So this isn't just some little fancy cloud, something in the sky, a little floaty cloud. This is something that people in very, very high positions in life are also aware of. So what I'm teaching is to try and give my understanding as I've known it. It's not easy. Obviously, when life keeps coming along and you're getting hit with challenges, an awful lot at high speed, the challenge comes in then to keep yourself focused on that path. It's very easier to keep your mind focused on this path when life is swimming along and there's nothing really major going on. If only. The days when life hits you with a curveball and when everything just seems to go like Skittles and everything's going wrong, this is when you're really tested on this path. Are you going to be able, against the tide and against all of the above, to keep your mind under your own control? That's the test, and that's the test for me, it's a test for you, it's a test for each and every one of us. When life is okay, it's easier to keep yourself focused on this path. As I said, when the challenges come along, the above becomes, am I going to be determined enough? You have to have a stubbornness And those are the testing times. And if you come through it and come out the other side, all the better. So I can only give you what I know. It's up to you to take the tools, use them or otherwise. As I said, it's not anything fluffy. Many, many people, you would probably be surprised at the level of people in the world who use this on their, on their daily basis. It's something that's not new. It's been around for a long, long time. And as of this year and next year, I'll be offering talks wherever there are human beings. And I'll be offering the talks out there, my availability, I'll be discussing that, etc. If it's something you're interested in, send me a message, make a contact. Don't leave it until next year. Make it this year. Otherwise, you'll be on to a further year, because I'm planning really pushing this forward next year. So you have missed talking about dinghies. You will miss the boat. You will miss my boat. And I want to kind of get this out here. I want to get as many people understanding this. And then at the end of the day, the choice, once I have shared this, the choice, as I said at the beginning, is up to you to use it, ignore it, or whatever. That's all we can do in life. But don't kind of go around keeping pointing fingers for the rest of your life. You are making a decision right at the second, what you're thinking, what you're speaking, and if you're going to take the action. No one can stop you. People can encourage you. People can do this. People can do that. The end, it lies with you. You will make the final decision, yes or no. It doesn't have to be anything serious. Whatever you're choosing, you are choosing it. So don't keep blaming the world. Keep blaming everyone else. As a final point, when we come to Earth, personal responsibility, but you're also given freedom of choice, freedom to choose the thoughts you're allowing in your mind. Are they negative? Are they positive? You can't keep blaming everybody of whatever's happened in your life. Everybody's got a story to tell. You can rise above it or keep taking the easy route out. Thanking you for listening. Hope you enjoyed my little funny story at the beginning. And get in touch if you're interested in talks for next year. Don't leave it too late. I am intending to push this as you would never imagine. Thanking you. Look after each other. Bye for now.